Guys, I am not happy. I just recorded a 35-minute long playoff predictions video. It was perfect. I went into detail about everything, and the mic on my camera was still on. So it was literally playing the audio twice, but like super, like, not that much delayed, but delayed enough to where it was like echoing and I sounded like I was talking twice. So, yeah, if you guys, welcome to another video. Today, I'm going to be giving you guys my playoff predictions for the 2022 season. Super excited to go over it again. But yeah, I'm going to probably be going a little quicker. You may not be getting another 35-minute long video, as expected, but I'm going to be going over every single playoff predictions. Hopefully we can make this maybe more like 20 minutes instead of 35. But yeah, the other night, we already saw the Pelicans beat up on the San Antonio Spurs. Spurs are out of here. And then we saw the Clippers lose to the Minnesota Timberwolves. So tonight, we're going to be seeing an LA versus a New Orleans playing elimination game. No Paul George, however. Paul George is in playoff quarantine, whatever you want to call it. He's in health and safety protocols, so he's not going to be there. But, however, we do know that LA has been very decent this year without Paul George. Luke Kennard is questionable for this game. New Orleans, I think with Brandon Ingram, Herb Jones, Jonas Valanciunas, they are a very decent team. In LA, the Lakers or the Clippers are going to have a bit of a home court advantage. It could be a great game. I think Reggie Jackson is going to be the X factor. Can he carry this team enough to beat the Pelicans? I don't think so. I think Brandon Ingram's going to be the best player on that court tonight. I don't know Zion Williamson, obviously. I think New Orleans is going to take on Phoenix Suns in the first round. Kind of self-explanatory. I just think Brandon Ingram's the best player. It's going to come down to who could be what single player I think is going to have the biggest impact. I think it's going to be Brandon Ingram. I'm really expecting him to have a great game tonight. I think Herb Jones is going to have a great defensive game tonight. He's going to kind of put the league or put the casual fans onto who he is. He's going to make a name for himself tonight. I have a feeling about that. And then we saw Minnesota taking on the Memphis Grizzlies now in the first round after beating the Clippers the other night. Now, I'm going to stay in the Eastern Conference or the Western Conference for this entire first half of the bracket. Then I'm going to move on to the Eastern Conference right afterwards. I need a drink of water because I haven't had anything to sip on, or my throat is hydrated. Give me a second. Thank you. All right. So, we have the Phoenix Suns in the first round going up against the New Orleans Pelicans. Phoenix, don't overthink it. They're going to win in 4 games. New Orleans, I just don't think they're going to be ready, especially without Zion Williamson to beat the best team in basketball. 64 wins, great coach, great offense, great defense. Chris Paul, Devin Booker, DeAndre, and all the other role players are going to step up. They're going to get a nice little first-round matchup. Quick 4 games. Phoenix will be moving on to the second round. Next up, we have the 4-5 matchup. We got the Utah Jazz, who have been struggling, blowing a lot of games. Quinn Snyder hasn't been the best coach this year. Rudy Gobert has had a decent defensive year again, but a lot of that hasn't been able to show up in the playoffs. Donovan Mitchell, like I said, he's been good, but he just hasn't been the Donovan Mitchell we've been seeing recently. Jordan Clarkson has been decent, but just this entire Utah Jazz team hasn't been what we've seen out of them in years past. However, they get a little bit lucky without Luka Doncic for the Mavericks for at least one game, and every single game means something in the playoffs. And I just think that's a huge question mark next to the Dallas Mavericks name. Are we even going to see Luka Doncic in this playoff series? Maybe he just misses game 1 and is back for game 2 and they win in 5. We don't know. Maybe they win in 4. Maybe they take that first game without him. But I think, fortunately for the Utah Jazz, really just because the Mavericks are questionable with Luka Doncic the entire series, that's their whole team, really. I think Spencer Dinwiddie, Jalen Brunson are great players. I think guys like Dorian Finney-Smith have potential to be really, really big and have a huge impact on this team. But unfortunately, I just still think the Utah Jazz are the better team without Luka Doncic. I don't really see them being able to pull this off. And since I'm not certain whether or not Luka is playing or not, I think it's a bit lackluster to pick the Dallas Mavericks in this series. So really, for that reason alone, I'm taking Utah. Unfortunately for the Mavericks, like this is just it's a bad scenario because I think it's time for the Mavericks to be like, all right, we need to get out the first round. We're not going up against LA this year. Like, we need to do something, get out the first round. But unfortunately, Jason Kidd wanted to play Luka in that meaningless regular season game in the third quarter and he got hurt. But it's unfortunate for Dallas. Utah gets a little bit lucky. I don't think either of those teams. That might be a pretty boring series in my opinion, especially without Luka. However, if Luka is there, it's going to be pretty entertaining. I think it's going to be a really good series. But unfortunately, for the Dallas Mavericks, I don't really see them being able to get there without Luka Doncic. Then we got the 2-7. I don't know why the 2 seed and the 7 seed are like I don't know who made this bracket. I just found it on Google, but it's like not how it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be 2 and 7 down here, and then 3 and 6. Doesn't really matter in the long term, but it just looks weird. But I have the Dallas. I already said this over, so I'm just not into it as much. I have the Minnesota Timberwolves taking on the Memphis Grizzlies here, and I don't know who I love in this series. I think both these teams are super fun. We know Patrick Beverley just wants it. I mean, we got the Timberwolves, the 2022 NBA champions. Like they already won the championship. Why should I have them? Like, why do they have to play again? They already won it all. No, but on some real stuff. Memphis, they're the better team for a reason, I think. It's going to be a super fun, super high-intensity, fun team matchup. Great basketball. It's going to be fun for the casual fan to just watch Ja Morant go at it against Anthony Edwards. We're going to see some dunks. We're going to see some game winner, I feel like. It's going to be a super fun. Both the crowds just get into it. Memphis and Minnesota. Minnesota hasn't been here since the Jimmy Butler era. Memphis hasn't been here since the they were there last year. But, actually there since the grit and grind sort of era. I think Memphis is still the better team though. They are a bit younger, but I think it's gonna be a great series. Cat is gonna be unguardable. I think Steven Adams isn't gonna be able to contain him out on the 3-point line. So they might be running a little bit of an Xavier Tillman potentially at the 5 to try to stop Cat. But it's going to be tough for them to do it. I do think Ja Morant is the best player on that court, and I think it's going to show. I think Minnesota is going to lose to the Memphis Grizzlies in 6 or 7 games. So give me Memphis in this series. Let's go ME. Sorry for my terrible handwriting. I'm literally typing with a mouse, so it's hard. Not typing. I'm drawing with the mouse, so it's kind of hard. I'm not doodling it with my finger. And then we got the front runner for the MVP against the Golden State Warriors in the playoffs, which is absurd to me because Golden State, Steph Curry is back. Don't overthink it, in my opinion. I think they're the better team for the reason. Jokic obviously is one of the most unguardable players in the entire league. Kevon Looney is going to struggle. Any team would struggle guarding Nikola Jokic anytime, especially in a playoff series. He's been incredible, but I just don't see them getting past Golden State. With a healthy Klay Thompson, a healthy Draymond Green, a healthy Wiggins, a healthy Steph Curry, a healthy Jordan Poole. This team is good. They're deep. They're really well coached, and it's Golden State in the playoffs, and that's scary. And Golden State is going to get out of there in probably 6 games, I think. Moving on. Phoenix, Utah, 5-game series. Phoenix is going to win it. Utah, I do not like this team this year. I really don't. Quinn Snyder, I think there's changes that are going to happen this offseason in Utah. This isn't that first round playoff matchup isn't a real playoff matchup in my opinion. If they get out of there in 6 games, 7 games, I'm not happy for them. Yes, you're moving on to the second round of the playoffs, but to me it's not I don't know, how do I put it? It's not a successful season if you make it out of that first round playoffs against the Luka Doncic less Dallas Mavericks just to get bounced in the second to Phoenix. I'm not happy with that. If I'm a Jazz fan or a player in the Jazz organization, Phoenix, I just think once again they're too good of a team. DeAndre Ayton might struggle a little bit against Rudy Gobert, who is great on the defensive side of things down low, but I mean, Rudy Gobert has yet to bring it in the postseason. And I saw one thing. Shout out to Pierre Pee Wee the Plug. He was talking about a lot of people hate Rudy Gobert, and what is the narrative about it? Why do people hate Rudy Gobert? Which was the question he was asked. And I think it's similar to this. Rudy Gobert has been such a great defensive-minded center throughout the regular season, basically his entire NBA career, or at least the past 5 years in the NBA, let's just say. Compare it to a guy, let's just say there's Joe Smith in the league. Joe Smith is on a top team every single year, and he's a 50% three-point shooter. 50% on a high clip. He's one of the best. He wins the scoring title. He wins the three-point contest. He's lethal. He's Steph Curry. He can make it from wherever. Then every single year after being one of the best teams in the regular season, he makes it to the playoffs, loses, and he shoots 30% from the three. That's how Rudy Gobert. That's what Rudy Gobert is. You gotta, if you compete and you defend at that high of a level in the regular season, why can't you bring it in the playoffs? That's kind of the question why Rudy Gobert is just like, come on, dude. Like, this is why NBA fans get mad at you. Obviously, because you brought COVID to the league. Anyway, that was completely off topic. Whatever. We're gonna move on to Memphis against Golden State. I think this is gonna be something, again, you don't want to overthink too much. Playoff basketball, Golden State, I have them winning. I mean, Memphis, yes, they're incredible. The Memphis Grizzlies are a super young team. They're a bit inexperienced, I think, to be a Golden State playoff team who has so much experience. Steve Kerr, we know what he could do as a coach in the playoffs. Klay Thompson, Game 6, I think he's incredible. If they go to Game 6, it's going to be a Klay Thompson show. Steph Curry, he's been in the finals multiple times, won multiple championships. Draymond Green has been there. Andre Iguodala has still been there, finals MVP. Like, this team is deep. This team has playoff experience. They're going up against a young, up-and-coming team. Don't be surprised if the Grizzlies could take a couple games this season or this series. But, like I said, I think it's going to come down to youth versus experience. And I think the experience is going to win this playoff series, advancing to the Western Conference Finals to take on the Phoenix Suns, who I have taken this series. Once again, I think it's going to be more of a series than any of the other matchups. It's going to come down, in my opinion, to who's going to have the better bench. I think, personally, the starting lineups are both going to dog. I think Steph Curry versus Chris Paul is going to be a great one. I think Klay Thompson versus Devin Booker is going to be phenomenal. Draymond Green against Jay Crowder or Mikal Bridges, that's going to be phenomenal as well. It's just two great deep teams. Can Jordan Poole be the X factor in this series, or will it be a Cameron Payne / Cam Johnson? Who knows? But I think my prediction is the Phoenix Suns are going to be back in the NBA Finals. I think they have a little bit of a bad taste in their mouth after being up 2-0 in the Finals last year, blowing it. They want to win it. I think, yes, Golden State does have that bit of an underdog sense this season, if that makes any sort of sense. I think there's so many people talking about, I think the Phoenix Suns are going to make it there. I think Brooklyn's going to be good. I think Miami's going to be good. I think the Bucks have a good chance of being back. But a lot of people are counting out the Golden State Warriors, but I do think Phoenix is going to make it back to the NBA Finals. This is probably going to be a 6 or 7 game series, though. I think Chris Paul and Devin Booker are going to come out as the better team in the long terms. And, that's my Western Conference side of the bracket. Let me know what you think about that. But now I'm going to be moving on to the Eastern Conference side of things. And we did see the Charlotte Hornets losing terribly to the Atlanta Hawks the other night. So Atlanta is going to be taking on the Cleveland Cavaliers. Brooklyn is going to be here. Then, so tonight we see Atlanta against Cleveland. I don't think this is going to be that tough of a matchup once again for Atlanta. We know that Jared Allen is questionable for this game. But again, I don't see this team really being able to beat playoff Trae Young. I think the Atlanta Hawks are really built for the playoffs. We see what they did last year. They just have that feel for them. They have the elite offensive scoring. They're a great basketball team, and I see them beating the Cleveland Cavaliers. Darius Garland and Evan Mobley might have a little bit to say about that, but they're dismantled with injuries all season. I just don't think Jared Allen, after missing some time, is going to come back and fit right in with this team just like that again. Obviously, he's a big man that doesn't do much. He just has to set screens, block shots, finish at the rim. So it's not hard to get back into that fit, but through one game, I don't know if I like it as much. John Collins is out, but I think he is targeting a second-round return. So if they make it out of here against the Miami Heat for whatever reason, then he could be back. But we'll see. Like I said. And then Hawks against Miami Heat. Ladies and gentlemen, do not underestimate the Atlanta Hawks. Trae Young, folks. Trae Young is him. Trae Young is him. Led the league in scoring. Total point scoring. Total assists. Can't play defense for shit, but he can get you buckets. And when it comes to getting you buckets, Trae Young is going to be the best player on the court in the series. The Atlanta Hawks will beat the Miami Heat in the first round of the playoffs in 7 games. You heard it here first. Zeal's OKC. Mind blown. He could predict the future. Trae Young's going to be the best player on the court. Miami's going to struggle to score the basketball. Tyler Hero's not going to have the best first round. He's not going to have the scoring that we're used to. Miami's going to struggle. And Atlanta is going to be back. They're going to be the We Believe Atlanta Hawks. First 8 seed to beat the 1 seed since the Golden State Warriors did that 2 decades ago. It's going to happen. I'm telling you right now. We got the Sixers against the Raptors. This is going to be a great series. I think a lot of people are very high on the Raptors. I am as well. I think Matisse Thybulle being on the court is a little bit overrated in my opinion. I'm not saying that his defense is overrated. I love his defense. He's an insane defender. But I think his offense is just terrible. So having him out on the court sometimes is a bit like just 4-on-5 on the offensive side of thing. But on the defensive side, I think he's incredible. But I think sometimes you might rather have a decent offensive player and a decent defensive player than an amazing defender and zero offense, just because like you're going to struggle to score points, and at the end of the day, whoever scores the most points wins the basketball game. But I still do think Philly is the best team. I think they have the 2 best players in James Harden and Joel Embiid, Pascal Siakam, Fred VanVleet, OG Anunoby, Scotty Barnes. All those guys are really going to show up to play. But I still do think that Philly's going to be the best team. I think Philly's going to advance, and we're going to see a little rematch here. Well, foreshadowing, we might see another rematch potentially. I'm just going to get this out of the way. Chicago, you don't deserve to be here. Oh, no, you do. You deserve to be, but you have not won a single game that I've been impressed about. Just get out of here. Just get out of here. A little bit more. There we go. I don't want to see a single thing. All right. The Chicago Bulls are out here in 5, maybe 4. Sorry, Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan. You could score points, but Milwaukee's going to score more and stop you. I'm sorry, you're not going to be able to guard Giannis. Maybe Patrick Williams might stop him a little bit. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, sorry. Brooklyn against Boston. I really, really do like Boston. I think if Boston was matched up against any other team, they would win it except for probably Brooklyn or Milwaukee. They're a true title contender, I think. But unfortunately, you got 2 title contenders in the first round. This is going to be a hell of a series. But I do have Brooklyn in 7. KD and Jason Tatum, it's going to be a hell of a battle to watch. Kyrie back in the Garden. We know the FU Kyrie or whatever the hell the Boston Celtics fans were chanting. And then Jason Tatum was like, yeah, shush. It's going to be a great battle. Jaylen Brown's going to have a ton of fun. Ben Simmons is targeting a return for game 5 or 6 or something like that. 4 or 5 or 6, somewhere around game 5. So small ball Ben Simmons, if they make it late in the playoffs, it's going to be really fun to watch, especially against like Daniel Tice. I think he's just going to dog him. But I'm excited. I'm excited to see what they could do. Yeah, but I'm sorry, Boston. I'm sorry. I want to have you guys far. Like, if you're in this upper half of the bracket, I would take Boston to the conference finals. I would. I really would. They're such a good team that it just sucks that they have to leave in the first round. But it has to be done, I think. Up here, I'm high on them. I'm high on them Hogs. I'm high on the Hogs, dude. Hate me for it, Philly fans. Hate me. It's gonna happen again, I think. James Harden is gonna have a good series. I think Harden's gonna be the guy that struggles for whatever reason. I just have those weird gut feelings. This is probably not gonna be right, but I think the Atlanta Hawks are gonna make it back to the Eastern Conference Finals, beating the Miami Heat in the first round in 7, then beating Philly in the second round in 7. Philly fans are gonna hate Trae Young. They're gonna hate me again, dude. But it's just one of those weird gut feelings I have. And then down here, I think Milwaukee is going to be back into the conference finals against Atlanta. And then I'm going to have my Milwaukee back in the finals. It all happened so quick. Let me recap it, all right? Atlanta beating Philly. My reasoning is I think Trae Young is just such a good offensive player, and the Hawks are built for the playoffs. We know any guy can really bring it in the Atlanta Hawks organization. Who is yelling outside? Sorry. Philly, I think they're going to struggle. I don't know necessarily how well they're going to be able to do to stop Trae Young. Matisse Thybulle, being out there, yes, like I said, great defender, but his offense is terrible. It's going to be similar to kind of like Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons could not score the ball last year. Matisse Thybulle is not going to be able to score the ball this year. I know they're two completely different players, whatever. But I don't know. I just have a weird gut feeling in me that Atlanta is going to be a great team. I think they're a really, really high-scoring offense. Defense is okay. Clint Capella is going to be a huge X factor throughout this playoff run. If he could get his 10 and 10 with 3 blocks a game or whatever you may expect out of Clint Capella, that's going to be huge. I think Onyeka Okongwu is going to have a big playoff series throughout however many series they make it through. And then Milwaukee against Brooklyn. Kevin Durant and Kyrie and Ben Simmons against Giannis and Chris Middleton and Drew Holiday. It's going to be a hell of a rematch. Brooklyn is going to see they're going to give KD the smallest pair of shoes they can. You don't want you stepping on the line again, Mr. Kevin Durant. This is a toss-up in my opinion. I think either of these teams can win it. And I think whatever team wins this matchup will win the NBA Finals. A little bit of a foreshadow in there. I have Milwaukee beating Phoenix to be my national champion. And then Milwaukee against Atlanta. I just think Milwaukee's that much better of a team than Atlanta. I think the run's going to come to an end. A little bit of a rematch there, rematch here, rematch there. We're going to see a ton of rematches in this playoffs. We're going to have a finals rematch. Phoenix, as good as the team they are, I just think they're not going to be able to stop Giannis like we saw last year. Neither of these teams have made significant changes. I think it's going to be a lot similar to what we saw last year. Chris Paul is going to be really good. Devin Booker is going to be really good, but Giannis is going to be even better. Cash Money Chris is going to be really good. I got the Milwaukee Bucks defending the title. Giannis Antetokounmpo, the 2022 MVP. My voice is starting to just fade away. I could feel it. I've been talking for the past hour with very little to drink and just rambling about the same exact thing over and over again. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, let me know down in the comments. Leave a like if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you are brand new. And yeah, I'll see you guys on the next video. Also, a lot of you don't know, I do have an Instagram, ZealsOKC. Go follow it there. I also have a Twitter. It is also ZealsOKC. The link should be in the description below. I also have my 2022 award prediction video finished. I just want to chop it up a little bit. You're going to be seeing this video first, and the other one will be coming out later on. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed the video, leave a like, subscribe if you're new. I'll see you on this next one. Peace.